All righty. Jonathan, Sydney, can you guys hear me okay? Yep.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to our WBKey registration training. This is the second training that we are hosting for EAR users. First, I want to say our customer service staff is in office today. So if you guys hear any background noise, just know we are not and working from home today. We are in office. So you may hear some background noise from other people working. Okay, before we get started, I did want to let you all know that this is a step-by-step training on how to register for a WB Key account to get access to the EAR portal. If you're and have already gotten access to the EAR portal, a review for you, you're more than welcome to stay. We are going to be hosting our EAR brown bag trainings that will be starting next month in February. And we'll be giving the date of that at the end of the session. Also, this session is being recorded and we are going to be posting it on the EAR website. Okay, next slide, please. What is WBKey? Think of WBKey as being your digital passport for all Waterboard websites. It's the one secure way to prove who you are online. It's you will you can use the same login for other applications. So the same login that you have for the Safer Clearinghouse, the lead service line, and EAR, you'll be able to use the same login and in the future for other portals. It's also a new system that adds an extra layer of security to protect your information. Next slide, please. Keywords that you'll be hearing today, and I may have already said these in the previous slide, but we have WBKey, which is your new digital passport for Waterboard websites. MFA, multi-factor authentication. It's a quick security check to prove who you are. And single sign-on is one master key password for multiple websites or portals. Okay, next slide. We have our first poll, just to get a quick sense of who's in the room with us today. So the question is, who are you? Are you a water system staff? Are you a state or county regulating agency, a technical consultant / contractor, or other? I'll give everyone about 15 seconds to respond. Okay, I think it's been about 10 seconds. It looks like majority of the attendees today are water system staff, with the second largest of in attendance is other. And then we have very close in attendance is technical consultant or a state or county regulating agency staff. Cool. Thank you all for joining. Next slide. So why are we here today? Comes down to two key benefits. The first one is to have better security to protect your information, and two, for future convenience. As I already have mentioned, you'll be able to, the future convenience is you'll be able to use the same login for other portals. Our goal is to create one secure login that will eventually get you to all Waterboard portals that you need. Next slide, please. So what changed in October of 2025, specifically in the EAR portal? There's a new way that you will be logging in. On the left-hand side, there's a screenshot of the EAR portal where you can click, if you click on login, if any of you have tried clicking on login, the page that opens up after clicking that is the WBKey login screen. So there's a new way that you are having to log in. Next slide. So getting your WB key is a simple three-step process. We're going to review these three basic steps today. One is we're going to verify your email. Two, create a strong password. And then three, you'll choose your preferred method for the extra security step, which is set up your security questions. Next slide. But before we go through the step-by-step process, we kind of want to get a sense of where everyone is at. So what is your starting point? Are you a newbie who does not have a WBKey account, or are you a pro that you do have a WBKey account? We can go ahead and go to the poll, the second poll, which is starting point. What is your starting point? You can go ahead and thank you, Sydney. So what is your starting point with WBKey? Are you a newbie, pro, or unsure? Give everyone about 15 seconds to respond. I think it's been maybe. Okay, looks like majority of the attendees are newbies, meaning they do not have a WBKey account, with almost an even split of pro and unsure. Thank you. So we are going to be going over both step-by-step processes if you are a newbie and if you are a pro. Okay, I'm going to hand off the mic to Jonathan, who will be going over the process of a newbie.
All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Gabby. So yeah, I'm Jonathan, and I'm going to be going over your newbie status. So again, newbie is if you do not have a WBKey account. All right, next slide. So the first thing to do if you are a newbie and you do not have a WBKey account is you're going to register. So you can register on the homepage or the EAR portal homepage in two spots in that gray box at the bottom. You can click the register link, or you can also click register at the top on that black banner shown by the red arrow there as well. So two ways. This is on the EAR portal. Register, you're going to need to fill out the registration fields. Now, there's something interesting here to pay attention to, and that is highlighted by the red box. So the first thing you're going to do is enter your email address in, and then click send verification code, and then enter the code on that right-hand side of that red box. So this is to verify that you verify your email address. So you need to have that done, your email verified, before you begin to fill out the fields below. So once you've done that and your email has been verified, then you can go ahead and fill out your first name, last name, organization, etc. Now note the asterisks, meaning that field is mandatory to fill out before you can move on. And so again, make sure that you verify your email address before you begin filling out the rest of the fields. Because if you do this in the opposite order and you start to fill everything out before having your email verification code verified, you might run into issues being able to register successfully. So once you've done that and you filled out the rest of the fields, then you're going to create a password. Now the password, if you notice there in the small letters, need to be 15 characters long and contain at least one uppercase, one letter, one lowercase letter, one number, and one special character. So once you've done that, entered your password in, then you confirm your password, then you click submit, then you should be good to go. Next slide, please. And then you're going to get the option to choose the method by which you want to receive your WBKey codes. Now you're going to get three options to choose from. Your Authenticator app, your phone, which is going to be a text message that's going to be sent to your phone, or you can get a voice call. And then lastly, you can use email to get the verification code emailed to you. Next slide. So if you do choose that first option, which is the Microsoft Authenticator, then you're going to have to go into your what is it? Your Apple Store or your Google Play Store to download that app. Now this video is going to show you how to find that Authenticator app and download it from your Apple Store or Google Play Store. There's no sound on this video. Um, so yeah, just as a FYI. And we'll continue the slides after this video. All right. Thank you, Sydney. And if you have any questions about that or anything that up to this point, we will have Q&A at the very end of this session where you guys can either raise your hands or enter a chat with your questions. All right, so moving on, once you've so yeah, entering the code sent to you via the method chosen. So this is what, if you choose to use your email address to have your code sent to you, this is going to be some examples of what you will see. So you will get your email address, you'll hit continue, then you'll get the verification code to your email address, and then you're going to put it in the verification code section where it asks and click verify code. Next slide. Then you're going to accept the WBKey terms of use, click continue, choose your security questions. Now we do recommend that you do remember your security questions and then remember your answers to your security questions. We've had a lot of people kind of forget them, and but if you do happen to forget them, you can always email us and then we can have them reset for you. But it's just make sure to remember them. Um, yeah. Next slide, please. All right, so once you've done this, your WBKey and EAR accounts are now created. You're all in, you're done with WBKey, you're in our system, you are good to go. So the next the next slides are going to be for people who do not have an EAR account as well. Next slide. So the next step for EAR users, next slide please, is going to associate yourself to a water system. You have an EAR account, but you have to associate the water systems that you need to your account. And this is going to show how you do this. So under EAR reporting on the home screen, you're going to click Manage My Water Systems List, and that red arrow is pointing to that link. So you click Manage My Water Systems List. Next slide. And then it's going to take you to the Manage Water Systems page. Now it looks a little busy, but I'll walk you through it here. There's two methods in which you can add the water system. First is going to be on that left-hand side, the left arrow pointing to that box. You put your public water system ID number there, enter it in, you click next match, and then your water system should show up on that to the right of that box. Now, once you see it there and everything looks accurate, you click add this one, shown by the other red arrow, and it'll populate that box on the right-hand side under your water systems. So once your water system is there, you'll see it present on the right-hand side. You can click Save Your Changes at the bottom and circled in red there, and then that'll save your change, and that'll send a request to your regulating agency, letting them know that someone has requested to manage that specific water system. Now, the other second method in which to do this is you can sort by the public water system ID number that is in that drop-down box that is shown by that middle red arrow. You click that drop-down box, you choose the district that's in the box, and then from there you can choose the water system, your water system that is in that specific district. Then you click the add button, which is circled by the red circle there, and then that again will populate your water system's box. Then click Save Your Changes at the end, and that your water system is now the regulating agency will now get an email letting them know that a request has been sent to them. Next slide. So once you click Save Your Changes, you should receive an email that looks like the screenshot of that email. The email is going to be request to manage your water system, whatever water system that is. And then once your regulator looks at that, they get the request, they approve it, you should get an email that looks like the one at the bottom. And it says you've been approved to manage water system. Please log in and you can begin reporting. Next slide. All right, I'm going to hand it off to Sydney.
Thank you, John. I will be going, oopsies. I will be going over the Pro. And so this means you already have a WBKey account that's associated with a different water board application, such as Clearinghouse. Also, thank you for your questions. We'll be opening up for a Q&A at the end of the webinar. Okay, so even if you've accessed the EAR portal before the implementation of WBKey, you're going to need to register to link your already existing WBKey with the EAR. So kind of like we went over with a newbie, you'll click register either in the gray box or in the black banner. And then you will do the same thing in the newbie steps where you verify your email address. So once again, put in your email address in the red box, send the verification code to your email. Once you do so, you can put the code in there and click verify. And then you can fill out the rest of the fields and click submit. Then you'll be prompted to sign into your already existing WBKey, which you'll do by entering in your email, entering in your password. And then it'll ask you to verify or do the multi-factor authentication for your WBKey account. And so based on what you chose for your account, you'll have a verification code either sent to your email, to your authentication app, or to your phone. In this step, we chose email. So you'll be sent an email or a code via email, which you'll enter in the field below. Click verify code and you're into your EAR account, which you can see down at the bottom, your historical EAR reports, and also able to do your current one. I will hand off to Gabby.
Thank you, Sydney. Turning on my camera. Ooh. Okay, so if you are needing further assistance, if you're struggling with your registration or any process with WBKey, next slide. And go to the EAR website and you can, under the login and reporting, you can click on the button that says WBKey Help Center. When you click on that, next slide, it takes you to the it takes you to the WBKey guidance document. And there are questions. So under guide parameters, you can go to the next slide, Sydney, please, where you can specifically tell it what application you are needing help with and if you have an existing WB account or do not have an existing EAR account. So for the example on the next slide, I specifically chose if you could go next slide, please, Sydney. Thank you. I specifically chose drinking water electronic annual report, and I chose I do not have a WBKey account, which will then populate underneath those links that you see underneath, and it will have screenshots and instructions specifically for the EAR regarding WBKey registration, or if you need to reset your password or reset your MFA, your multi-factor authentication. Okay. Next slide, the readiness check. This is see how everyone is feeling. You can go ahead and put the poll question. So are you feeling ready and confident? Are you a little bit nervous but ready to try? Or you expect that you are going to be needing help? Give everyone about 10 to 15 seconds to respond. Okay, let's see. 55% of you are feeling ready and confident. Nice. And then we have 30% that are a little bit nervous, ready to try. And then 15%, I expect I will need some help. For those that expect that they will need some help, next slide, please, Sydney. You can either go to our EAR portal, our EAR website, which is the picture, the screenshot. We have a screenshot of the EAR website on the left-hand side. On where you see EAR customer service forms, you can go to the EAR customer service request form. You click on that link and it'll take you to a form that you can fill out. Or you can also access that same form on the EAR portal without having to log in. It's just right when you go to the link of the EAR portal, there you'll see a where it's in the red box, excuse me, the red box, you see EAR customer service request form. You'll see a link for that. And also our email is also on there. I apologize that, oh, and our email is also on the EAR portal. And also the third option, which we included our email here, is on the screen. So you have different ways of being able to contact us. And we are getting a high amount of emails right now. We're trying to keep up with everyone with all the questions as fast as we can. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and open it up for questions. Jonathan, if you want to take this first part of answering any of the questions.
All right. Thank you, Gabby. So we're going to open it up to some Q&A. Apologies, we don't have our customer service lead here who would normally answer all these questions. So please bear with us for a bit. We're going to do our best, Gabby, Sydney, and I, and try to answer as many as we can. And any of the ones that we can't answer, we are going to send everybody, all participants from this meeting, the Q&As and answer them when we can. So you'll receive in your email the Q&A questions and then the answers to them for whatever the ones that we can't answer today. So let's start off with the top here from Joe. He's asked, do the passwords expire after a certain date? So no, the passwords do not expire. So just make sure to remember them. And yeah, they should not expire. And if they do, if you do forget them, you can always refer back to that WBKey Help Center to reset your password. All right, from Christopher asked, I have completed the EAR for my agency the past several years. Do I need to register as a new user this year because of the WBKey? And yes, everybody will need to register for WBKey, register for the EAR all over again because it's brand new for this year. And you just have to tie in your WBKey account to your EAR account. So if you have one or the other, you still need them tied together. All right, moving on to Mark. Mark asked, question I have is that I keep getting emails that if I don't log in to my WBKey, that it will be shut down. I keep logging in, but keep getting messages, account will be disabled. I'm not familiar with that notification. about getting shut down. So just email us and we can look into this further because um, you shouldn't be getting that notification about getting your account disabled for any sort of reason. That sounds a bit suspicious. So yeah, just email us and then we can take a further look into that. All right. Daisy asked, I have an EAR account from years prior, but once I set up WBKey, I cannot log into my existing EAR portal. Should I create a new account? Um, you will need to register with the EAR, so I'm not sure if you set up WBKey previously through another application like Clearinghouse, um, but you will need to register for the EAR or with the EAR, and if you do that, you should have access to your EAR portal. So go through the registration process that we showed earlier, and you should have access to the portal and all previous reports should be there as well. All right, Michael asks, can multiple users claim the same water systems on their profiles? So this is a common question we get a lot. Each individual will need to have their own WBKey account, but each water system can have multiple users, multiple profiles on there associated with them. So you can have multiple people working on a single EAR, but every individual will need to have their own WBKey. This is just for safety. So we highly recommend and encourage people to have their own versus sharing emails, which is highly discouraged. All right, moving on here. Lori asks, if you are not sure if you go to register and that email is already connected, then you go to login. Um, Not quite sure what you're asking here. If you go to register and that email is already connected. So if you already have a WBKey account, you should be able to log in if you've already created a password and have registered with WBKey through the EAR. Hopefully that answers your question. But yes, after you're all done and you're going into login for the first time with the setup your WBKey and you have a password and your MFA, you just click login and you should be able to access it right away. All right, Doug, you can go ahead and if you still need help, you can send us an email or a customer service form and we'll take a look at what you need. All right, Scott. Scott asks, what are the allowed special characters for WBKey password? I have a 15 plus digit password entered and it doesn't seem to be working. All right. Sorry, I lost my place here. Okay, thank you. Um, no, it should be just the typical special characters. There shouldn't be any unique special characters that aren't allowed. So, it should work. And if it's not working, go ahead and send us a customer service request and through the form, and we can try to troubleshoot it if it's for some reason your password isn't working. All right. Gary asked if we have a WBKey account for Clearinghouse, can we use a different email address for the EARs and still access all of our water systems? So you're going to um, it's the same account that's going to be tied in for Clearinghouse and for EAR. You're just registering for them, tying them both to it. So your email is going to be tied in to both. You can only have one email for your WBKey account, and that account is for all the apps that you associate it with. So if you were to use a different email, it would have to be a whole other setup. But you should have one email for one account, and it should work for Clearinghouse as well as for your EAR. All right. Gunnar asks, is Safer Clearinghouse and EAR portal both needed to submit an annual report for our water districts? Yeah, so they're two separate reports. I'm not sure which annual report you were speaking to, but the Safer Clearinghouse has the annual inventory report, and the EAR is the electronic annual report. So those are two separate reports for two separate applications, but you will need a WBKey and associate it from both of them to your WBKey account. So yes, you will need both Safer Clearinghouse and the EAR portal. All right. Rick asks, I have also received emails, 3, I believe, telling me I need to log into my WBC account. Will be locked out if I don't log in within a certain time frame. Okay, yeah, so Rick, go ahead and send us an email, um, and, and we'll take a look at that, if you don't mind. This, that sounds interesting. Um, all right, Doug, okay, yeah, send us an email and we can take a look at you, or we can also call you. All right, Elisa asks, how do I register for the EAR, re-register for EAR? You'll do that through the registration link on the EAR portal. And further information on how to go through those steps can be found on our resources page on the resources section on our EAR homepage if you want step-by-step guidance on how to register. Or you can join our upcoming uh, brown bags that we're going to have. And we'll go over that in further detail. All right. Corbin asks, I just signed up successfully with the WBKey and confirmed everything with MFA. And now when I try to log in, it tells me this message. Your WBKey account does not have access to this application. Return to the application and request access. Please submit a support request for any further assistance. WBKey support requests. So yeah, Corbin, all I can really say here for this message, which is kind of the stock message that people get, is that to just send us an email or through that form that Gabby had mentioned in previous slides, and then we can take a look and dive in deeper into your account to see what where the issue lies. All right, Einar, I apologize if I messed your name up there. Oh, looks like they're gone. All right, we got Lourdes. If I have a WBKey account and I try to log in as already have an account, but it did not work, how many tries until I'm locked out? Can I try again the new day without asking ER team for a reset? Um, I do not believe that it does lock you out, Lourdes. I've never heard of that, but this, yeah. Gabby, do you know anything about that? Hearing
If,
about locked out or?
I have a W try to log in. I don't know how many times. I don't think it does lock you out after so many times. It says how many tries until I'm locked out. Yeah, I haven't experienced that. I don't know if anyone on the
Yeah,
call has had that. Any of the attendees, if you've been locked out, maybe if you wouldn't mind, you could share, we can unmute you. But Lourdes, yeah, I'm unsure if there is a certain amount of tries.
yeah. Sorry, Lourdes. But yeah, if anybody wants to raise their hands, they can also speak up. Well, raise their hand and we can unmute you and you can ask your question if that's easier for you. All right. I think the time is up here. Gabby, do you want to take over here?
Yes.
Thank you.
And keep my, okay. So, just some quick things. If Sydney, if you could go to the previous slide that has, um, yeah, cool. Just in case if any of you need to email us, you can see the email there on the screen. Just letting you all know it is just our team, the three of us, which is myself, Jonathan, and Sydney, that are responding to these emails. So if you're sending us emails right now to the inbox, we are not answering because we are hosting this. So we will try to get to them as fast as we can after this webinar. Okay, let's see. I accidentally scrolled all the way up. Let's see. And where it is. Okay, so Lori, I successfully created WBKey and then logged into EAR, but must have used a different email. Where should I change email first, WBKey or EAR? I use two emails and I'm only allowed to have the same email for WBKey. So if you want to change your email, so yes, you can only have one email registered for your WBKey account. I'm going to respond to your message right now and link the the WBKey guidance document on here. Oop, I don't know if, okay. I just sent it to you, Lori. Okay, Wendy, I was previously able to use the Authenticator app on my phone, but got a new phone and service provider, and now it is not showing any accounts linked to this. Should I uninstall and reinstall the application, or is there something else I need to do? I am unsure. I would assume you would have to re-upload the application again. Jonathan, do you know anything?
Um, I would think you'd need to, yeah, then you can just log in to that app again with your account and you should be fine. But I'm a little unsure though too at the same time.
Wendy,
Sorry.
I'm noting down your question, and we can. Another thing I don't, if we've already mentioned this already, but we are going to be posting the questions, and we're going to yes, we're going to be posting the questions and answers to all the questions we've received from the previous webinar and this webinar on the EAR website. And we hope that will get posted by the end of this week. So in case you guys need to go back and look at all these questions, you will be able to. So Wendy, hopefully by then we'll have a response for you. Okay. Next, Mark, our lead service line inventory status says inactive. Last login 5/15, 22. I think we turned in the survey, but we can't confirm. Mark, if that would be a question for your regulating agency. And also, if you don't know who your regulating agency, if you want to email us and we can find that out for you. Also, any EAR related questions, well, if any of you are reporting, we are going to be having our brown bag trainings, which will be answering specific questions related to reporting. Okay, next we have Sandra. It says I am approved, but I was not sent to a place to put in a password. Maybe Sandra, if you want to raise your hand and maybe you could explain a little bit more. Can wait, Sandra, if you're still on. If not, you can email us at the email that's shown here on the screen. I'm going to go to the next question. Okay. Oh, I see, Sandra, you sent another message below. Hello, please log into the application to confirm your first name. It would be helpful, Sandra, if you could email us and maybe screenshot what you are seeing. See, you copy and pasted maybe the message that you received. Okay. Florida says, I checked my spam and still didn't get the verification code. Sometimes it does take a moment to load or to receive in your email. I know if you were working on this last week, there was a Microsoft 365 outage that was where people were having issues with their codes not being sent or the wrong codes were being sent. Jonathan, any other ideas?
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of is that the one thing that stopped people from getting any verification codes of any kind was that Microsoft 365 outage. But if you are having issues still, yeah, just again email us and then we can have it reset, um, your MFA reset on our end. That's only the options I think we can do to fix something like not getting your verification code.
Thank you. Okay. Steve, you cannot change your security questions until you have logged in. Cannot log in because it says verification code entered does not match the code from the Authenticator app. If you could email us, Steve, and we can get your account reset. Also, I'm going to put in case before you email us, if you want to check out the WBKey guidance document, you can do that. But if you aren't able, if you're having issues with your code not matching and you can't change your security questions, we may have to reset your whole WBKey account. Again, Sandra, if you could email us, or if you want to raise your hand and maybe expand on what issue you are having. Okay, Briseda, hello, my apologies. I was a little late for the beginning of the meeting. Would you be able to give me a rundown of the key points on how to access the EAR? So Briseda, we are going to be posting the recording on the EAR website. We hope to have it posted by the end of this week where you can watch the recording. And we will also be posting the Q&A on the EAR website. And yes, if you have any other questions, you can feel free to email us and we can help you. How long does it take to register your water district in the EAR portal? Gunnar, do you mean how long does it take for you to get accepted to manage a water system? So that our team doesn't manage the approval of when a request is sent. That is your regulating agency. And if you have the contact information of your regulating agency, you can email them and just let them know that you are waiting for your approval and you need to start your EAR. Gunnar, if that's hopefully that answered your question. If not, you can either enter another question later on, or if you want, you can raise your hand. Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, we will be looking out for your email. Diana Cooley, how do you link to EAR? I have the WBKey, but do not know how to get into the EAR. Diana, if you could email us, but I can give you the link to the EAR portal. Let me do that now. Or it looks like I think someone's already doing that. Thank you. Isaac says, thank you for your help. No problem. We're doing the best that we can for you all. And cool. Yes. Email us. Mark Dickinson, I can't paste a screenshot on the email form. Yes. So sorry, Mark, I had said you can I believe I had responded to you earlier that you can take a screenshot. Yes. So on the form, on the MS form, you can't attach any images, I believe, Jonathan. We may have to add that. I don't know if we can, but for now, Mark, if you could just email us directly and you can definitely either attach an image or even just copy and paste the screenshot onto an email.
Hey, Gabby.
Yeah.
Mark actually has his hand raised. Can we
go
to there?
Yeah. Mark, you can unmute yourself, Mark. We can't hear you. I see that you unmuted yourself. While we wait, I'm going to go to the next question. Oops, sorry. Keep losing my place. Okay, Lourdes. Yes, it could be Microsoft 365 issue. Last week I tried. Just now. Oh, okay. Lourdes will answer your question. Mark, you can go ahead and.
You can still hear?
Yes, I can hear you now.
It was just a hidden button. Yeah, I was just going to say, I didn't see where never mind. Now I see it. Now I see the email instead of the request form. I just had the Q&A box over the email. My bad.
No worries.
Now I see it. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Glad we could help you. Okay. Yes. Skip it. Okay. Any other looks like some of these are just thank yous and responses to some of the, oh, okay. Priscilla, I am on the water boards for our well site. We do have a company that manages the well as far as testing and maintenance. Do any of us on the board need to register for the ER service portal? This, Jonathan,
Yeah, this sounds like it would be a question for your regulating agency. That's what kind of thing that comes to mind because I'm not sure it's who's responsible for that well needs to be doing those is responsible
report.
for the report, the AR report. Yeah, so just somebody whoever's the lead, whoever's responsible for that well is they're the ones that need to fill out that EAR. But that would be a question for your regulating agency as well to get some clearance on.
Thank you, Jonathan. And Priscilla, if you aren't sure of who your regulating agency is, you can email us and we can look that up on our end. Okay, Niambi, thank you. I was able to get into the EAR now. Great, glad you were able to get in. And apologies if I mispronounced your name. Miguel, are security questions required? I set up my WBKey and logged into successfully, but never got prompted to enter any security questions. Did I miss a step? Miguel, maybe if you want to raise your hand or you could type in, did you already have your WBKey account maybe registered for the Safer Clearinghouse portal or lead service line? 'Cause that's the only thing I can think of that you wouldn't have to set up your security questions because you already had an existing WBKey account and you were just setting it up to have access to the EAR portal. I'm gonna go on, but Miguel, if you want to
The
expand
hand
more.
raised.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Sydney.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I just responded. I didn't have an account before this, so I set it up as I was following the steps. So I just set up the WB key, logged into my EAR, linked the water system. So it seems like I did everything correctly. I just never got prompted to enter security questions.
Okay. May I ask, you should be fine if you're able to log in. I don't know if Jonathan or Sydney, if you guys have run across with anyone else with this of not being prompted to do security questions.
I set up my WB key code to just text me on my phone. I don't know if that matters.
I don't think that matters.
Yeah, that
The
shouldn't
security
matter.
questions are kind of like a secondary step. You know, if you can't remember what your password is or you can't remember what your email is, the security questions kind of help. It'll let you get into your account if you don't have access to your password or your email. It's a secondary step. But yeah, I mean, as long as you are able to access, but we can ask that maybe Jonathan Sydney to our IT team to see if.
Yeah, we can take a look to see if your account is anything issue with your account on our end. Uh,
But and
yeah.
you are able to report. You were able to start your EAR, Miguel.
Yeah, I'm logged in
Yeah.
right now. I haven't
Okay.
actually started anything. I just linked with the water systems.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. If you have any issues, please email us. But we will we will try to find this answer for you, try to get a response. And then again, we'll be posting all the answers to these questions on the EAR website.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Miguel. Okay, Darnell, I have logged in using the MFA app, but I cannot access my ER reports for my system. I am getting this error message. Emails may not be changed. Please. Okay. So, or sorry, it's not Darnell, Daryl. If you could, or if Sydney, if you could go to slide 20. I'm assuming you've gone already through the process of trying to associate yourself to a water system, Daryl. And if you've done that, you may be on the kind of like a waiting list for your regulating agency to accept your request to manage. And like I mentioned earlier, our team, the customer service team, isn't responsible for accepting any requests to manage water systems. That would be your regulating agency. So if you've already gone through the step of associating yourself to water system and you don't have the ability to start your EAR, that may be what you are waiting for. I would recommend you email your regulating agency to let them know you're waiting and you can't start reporting until you have approval. And I may sound like a broken record, but if you don't know who your regulating agency is, you can email us. Yeah, so also when you add a system, Daryl, that's another thing that I almost forgot. When you add a system, you can, it'll automatically say you can't, like changes have been made or you can't change your email address. Is that right, Jonathan?
Yeah, it's just
It-
going to be a reminder that you can't change your email address because emails are tied to accounts. So it's just a bit of a reminder on your profile when you're updating your profile.
And then I'll do the last one, Jonathan. I don't know if it's already been my
Okay,
time, but
okay.
I can continue. But so looks like Sharon said, thanks as a newbie. I'm sure you'll be hearing from me. That sounds good, Sharon. And then if Sydney, sorry, I keep asking if you could go back to that slide where we have our the email, where we have our email, just so people can see it. Thank you, Sydney. Any other questions? We still have time. It is 1:52 right now. If anyone, feel free if you want to raise your hand and maybe ask a question on the Zoom, you are more than welcome to. We'll wait a couple more minutes, and if we don't get any new questions, we'll go ahead and end this Zoom. If you want to, Sydney, go, sorry, to the next slide, which, oh, okay. Oh, nice. Thank you. Robert, if you want to unmute yourself. While we wait for Robert to unmute himself or maybe connect to the audio, they say that asks, will you guys be hosting another Zoom meeting? So we will be hosting more Zoom meetings, but not for the WBKey registration process. This was our last one, but we will be having our EAR brown bag trainings, which will be going into the reporting of the EAR.
And we are going to be these recordings will be posted on our EAR website under, I don't think we have it listed here, but in that screenshot that's up right now under login and reporting information, there's a drop down. That's where these recordings will be. So if you have any issues, WBKey, go ahead and watch those videos, and the Q&A will also be posted on that drop down on our homepage under login and reporting information.
Robert, I don't know if you're still able to. And looks like Robert, you lowered your hand. Mike Roberts says, I keep getting a message saying that my WBKey account has access to my EAR account. If that is, then what you can do, you can go ahead and log in rather than going to register on your EAR portal. You would click on login and go through that process of logging in. But Mike, it may be helpful for you to email us and we'll be able to help you. And then for the next question, Sydney, if you want to go to the next slide or our last slide. So our first EAR brown bag training is going to be on February 19th at 10 a.m. And there are links on the EAR website to register. So if you go to the EAR website under important dates and events, you have the availability to register. And also, Jonathan, there was an email sent out that had all these dates. Is that correct? And registration links?
Yes.
Yeah. Robert, we can hear you now if you want to.
Yes. Well, are you there?
Yes.
Go ahead, Robert.
How do I change a receipt of verification code from my email to my phone?
So if you want to change, let's see, do we have on the EAR homepage, we do have a guide on how to reset your MFA. And I don't know if we don't have a chat here. Maybe just email us. We can send you the guidance document that can show you how to reset that, because it's kind of a long process. Or you can also email us. Excuse me, you can also schedule like a one-on-one meeting with us too, and we can show you how to walk through that process. But go ahead and email us, and we can get back to you with that information.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. All right. So, question from Devin. My login works for the lead service line, but not the EAR. You will have to register for the EAR for it to work. So even if you have a WBKey account with another application like lead service line or clearinghouse, you still need to register with the EAR to link those two accounts together. All right, Mark, email DDW and the auto response is empty. I'm not quite sure what's happening there, but
It may be an auto response maybe may not be working. The one that says we'll respond within 1 to 3 days could be.
Okay. All right, sorry about that, Mark. But we still received your email, so look for a response from one of us soon. Is that okay? All right, we're almost at time, 2 minutes. Any last minute questions? Go ahead and get them in now. While we're waiting, I just want to thank everybody for joining today. It's hopefully it's some helpful for you guys, and thank you for everybody interacting and asking questions and raising your hands. It's really thankful for that. So thank you everybody for being here.
We'll wait till 2 p.m. and then we can close this out unless another question
good.
comes in.
We have a question from Melissa.
Awesome. Melissa raising her hand. Or I see it came in a little bit. Jonathan, if you want to.
Yep, gotcha. Thank you, Melissa. Missed that question there. So the question was, so we are a big company. Do all RV and MHP properties have to register on this site? I'm not sure what RV and MHP is referring to. But if you're a public water system, you need to have at least, I believe just one. You need to have somebody that's going to be responsible for filling out that EAR and turning it into your regulating agency. So, okay, RV parks and mobile home parks. Thank you, Melissa. Yeah, I would recommend just contacting your regulating agency, as they're the ones who's going to be looking at your EAR and assessing them. So, go ahead and yeah, just they're the ones that you're going to want to talk to about that. Sorry if it hasn't been more helpful. Alrighty.
Okay, we're at time. Thank you, everyone. And Melissa, if you don't know who your regulating agency is, we can look that up on our end and you can email us. But thank you, everyone. As Jonathan said, we are thankful that you all attended, and we hope these two sessions were helpful for you all, and hope to see you all at our first EAR brown bag training for the reporting year 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.